Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
Take your black out of here,
Now on News 6, a verbal tirade that went viral months later, why a couple's facing charges for what many call a racist rant. Also new this half hour, a humane society swamped 41 dogs rescued from one man's home why no charges are being filed. And bundle up for one more cool night, how fast a warm up will turn around those temperatures across Central Florida.
It's bull. I think it sucks.
A fired up Sheriff Chitwood blasts a judge. The punishment for a parent got for attacking a school deputy. But we start now at 10 tonight with some breaking news out of D.C. A big vote means it's now up to President Trump to end a record-breaking government shutdown. Good evening to you. I'm Matt Austin. Ginger is on assignment tonight. Less than an hour ago, the House passed a compromise bill 222 to 209, sending the measure of to President Trump's desk for his signature. House lawmakers made that vote after nearly 8 weeks away from the nation's capital. The bill clears the way for back pay to federal workers, reverses layoffs made by the White House, and guarantees SNAP food stamp funding throughout most of next year. At just shy of 43 full days, this is by far the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Hope that the president will sign the bill soon is apparently growing among essential workers who've been on the job without pay for that long. Late tonight, the FAA announced fewer flights will be canceled for the rest of the week than expected. 6% of flights were canceled today at MCO and other major airports. That was supposed to jump to 8% tomorrow and 10% by Friday. Instead, it will stay at 6% because more air traffic controllers are ready to come back to work. Experts say even if the president signs the bill tonight, and the shutdown fully ends before the weekend, it will take time for airlines and airports to ramp operations back up to normal. Fingers crossed, your Thanksgiving travel just might be okay. Ending the shutdown now should mean food aid will also be back on the way in time for Thanksgiving. Tens of thousands of Central Floridians rely on SNAP, and it could take at least a few days to start processing payments and getting the federal systems restarted again. Your Orange County community correspondent, Jana Manohalal, spoke with local food pantries. They tell her people are starting to worry.
Panic in their faces, a lot of panic of not knowing what they're going to do next. What am I going to have to sacrifice at this point?
So we've been covering SNAP benefits to get you some answers. You can find our coverage and a list of local food pantries on clickorlando.com. We also have some breaking news in the New Smyrna Beach area. You might be smelling smoke there. A 49-acre brush fire broke out tonight. They're calling it the Shell Fire because it's near a Shell gas station at the corner of State Road 44 and I-95. So the good news is it is fully contained. There are no homes in the area. Firefighters say the cause is under investigation. It comes as we bundled up for one more cold night. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan is in for Jonathan. Michelle, you were just talking about how dangerously dry it's been at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we haven't been getting a whole lot of rain. And it is super dry. The relative humidity is super low, and this can cause brush fires across areas. We take a look at the map right behind us. You can see that the drought monitor, it is showing that parts of Central Florida is abnormally dry in the yellow. So Sumter counties as well as Marion and Lake counties dealing with that drought. And this can worsen as we go through the next several days because I'm not really forecasting measurable rain across the area. As we take a look at the relative humidity, again, many of us is around that 50–60% range, is showing how dry it is. And it is downright cold once again across the peninsula. 37 degrees in Ocala, 38 in the Villages, 46 in Kissimmee, 45 in Daytona Beach, 44 in Sanford. But there's a warm up on the way as we take a look at tomorrow's planner. Starting off chilly, we're at 55 around 9, 62 around 11 with a daytime high of 74 degrees. Now some 80s are heading our way. That doesn't come until the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up.
All right, thanks, Michelle. New at 10 tonight. It's a video that captured the attention of millions. Went viral on TikTok over the summer, showing two people shouting racial slurs at a door-to-door salesman. Well, months later, the state attorney has decided to file a charge of assault against the couple because of those racially motivated actions. News 6 Orange County community correspondent Troy Campbell is outside the home speaking with neighbors.
This is the home behind me here along Aberton Court where that video was recorded back in July. We came out here, we spoke with neighbors who say they are thankful an assault charge has been filed. Savio Romeo lives across the street from where this viral video was recorded back on July 29th.
Take your black out of here, you up.
What are your thoughts that someone will be held responsible criminally for using those terms and those words and those threats in that video?
It's only because he's black. That's all. In my opinion, this is so sad to see because the humans...
Court documents show the two people seen shouting racial slurs in the video have been charged with assault for their actions. 55-year-old Cheryl Pyle and 51-year-old Stephen Wiley posed for these mugshots back on October 1st when they were arrested for an unrelated charge of elderly abuse. The two remain behind bars as they face the added charge.
Don't come cuss at my door, motherfucker. You and your food.
We stopped by the home on Tuesday, but no one came to the door. We caught up with Ontavius Johnson, the victim in the case and the man who recorded the video back on July 29th. We spoke to him only about an hour after law enforcement cleared the scene of a suspicious package outside the home.
Before she even said something back, her husband came. She called her husband downstairs, you know. He came outside calling me all types of get off his property. He'll hang me, cussing me out. The wife flicking me off. It's hard for me to sleep trying to get my mind off of the situation that had happened.
What are you hoping for the future?
I just want, you know, change to happen.
In my opinion, this is the worst of the humankind. And I'm so sad for this man because nobody deserves something like this. Only because knock his door, the other doors, and try and foul work. So for me, this is unacceptable. And I'm going to pray for this man.
Romulo says the actions in the video don't reflect his neighborhood. How about also the fact that millions of people around the world saw that video and it instantly went viral, and now there's charges. So do you hope that this sends a message about, you know, the actions that are in the video?
This is one good thing because a million people see these bad words, this bad reaction for this man only because he's black. Could happen with me.
And records show the couple is due in court on the assault charge on November 25th. And of course, we will continue to keep you updated. I'm your Orange County community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
Also new at 10 tonight, Volusia's top cop, Sheriff Mike Chitwood, is blasting a judge over how she handled punishing parents who attacked a school resource deputy. And he's so fired up, we cannot play it uncensored on TV.
This is an absolute smack in our face. It's a smack. And we're all here to support Deputy Curtin, and to blame her for what happened, it's bull. I think it sucks.
The attack happened in November of last year. Deputies say 47-year-old Jorge Rivera and his wife, Dagmary Aponte Iturino, attacked a school resource deputy at Deltona Middle School. Body cam footage shows Rivera shouting at the deputy. It escalated until she is punched in the head, knocked to the ground, and had her taser ripped out of her hand. Today, court records show he pleaded no contest and was sentenced to less than 2 months in jail. From the bench, he says Judge Kathleen McNeely said the deputy needed more training.
My head almost exploded. I think that shows she knows nothing about what we do for a living. Nothing. We are not going to allow someone to stand face to face and shove their finger in our face. We're not going to allow somebody to shove chairs at us. We're going to take action. So what she basically said was, you're allowed to defend yourself against law enforcement. You're allowed to attack them. You know, you come up for re-election, we're going to let people know that you don't stand for law and order. What you stand for is disorder.
Saying the judge just proved she blamed deputies for doing their jobs and is unfit for office. That's what he was mentioning there. Also in Volusia County, an urgent animal rescue operation is going to leave an animal shelter just swathed out there. The Halifax Humane Society is now caring for more than 40 dogs taken late today from one home in Orange County. Several dead dogs were also found. Community correspondent Alex Cook is in the neighborhood.
I'm News 6's Alex Cook. Neighbors called animal control about dozens of dogs living in this Orange City home. The Halifax Humane Society came out and says they found 41 live dogs inside the home and several dead ones. The owner told them he had become overwhelmed and couldn't care for the animals anymore. The city convinced him to give up ownership of all the dogs, and they are not pursuing cruelty charges. Every surviving dog was taken to the Halifax Humane Society in Daytona Beach for immediate medical attention. None of the dogs were spayed, neutered, or vaccinated, and many arrived with serious medical issues. Vets are examining each dog tonight, giving them soft beds, nourishing food, and starting them on the path to recovery. Surgeries are scheduled to begin tomorrow. As soon as each dog is healthy enough, it will be posted on the Halifax Humane Society website and made available for adoption. The Halifax Humane Society says their top priority is making sure these dogs are all safe, stable, healthy, and on their road to a new home. In Orange City, Alex Cook, News 6.
Another big story, rebuilding major roads in Mount Dora weeks after an epic washout.
They were bringing in trucks with fill, I would say every 15 to 20 minutes at one point. It was incredible.
Tonight, Ginger got to see firsthand the hard work underway, and our News 6 investigators were out there too.
A tale of two storms, the same road washed out twice. I'm News 6 investigator Erica Bergoglio. Leaders say part of the problem is runoff from a nearby business. Coming up tonight at 6, what's been done and what's going to be done to help fix this problem.
You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Wednesday night. We're covering Deltona, Dr. Phillips, and all of Central Florida. Now on News 6, 2.5 weeks after historic, supposedly once-in-a-millennium storms washed out roads and backyards in Lake County, we're continuing to ask, how did this happen and how can we keep it from happening again? Since the flooding happened late last month, we've been trying to answer that question for people living in Mount Dora. All afternoon, we took an in-depth look. Starting at 4, Ginger field anchored from one of the most visible problem spots, North Donnelly Street. That's the one with the Welcome to Mount Dora sign on it. It's a big deal. Another trouble spot's a little east of there, Wolf Branch Road, another important artery in Mount Dora. News 6 investigator Erica Bergoglio is looking into why the road was washed out twice in a year.
You can see it ripped out the plumbing, the AC. It's just all gone.
Jose Benitez's home is on the verge of collapse.
To be honest with you, I don't know how it's still standing.
Flash floods hit his Mount Dora home more than 2 weeks ago, the rushing water eviscerating the foundation. Benitez took this video moments before he and his family evacuated.
We started hearing the house making noise, and then that's when we realized the house started falling in.
Now they're living in this camper because their home is condemned. Lake County officials deeming the property unsafe due to erosion. Benitez filed a claim with his homeowner's insurance company, but was denied coverage. So all that water came down, broke through the fence, and then went that way toward your house.
Went that way towards my house.
He says the water then swept down to Wolf Branch Road. Crews are repairing Wolf Branch for the second time. The road was damaged during Hurricane Milton in 2024. Recently, Lake County Commissioner Leslie Campione told my colleague Mike Valenti runoff comes from a nursery on Britt Road.
They were trying to pump their water and create some additional storage, but they could not pump it fast enough.
In this letter dated November 2024, Commissioner Campione wrote to the nursery saying in part, quote, "An inordinate amount of runoff is leaving your property during rain events. It is likely you do not have sufficient stormwater storage or infrastructure, which is causing water quality and quantity problems." Lake County tells me the nursery installed a pump to move water from a retention area on the southeast corner of the property to the north side of the property. The county says the pump is supposed to retain more stormwater and lower the pond before heavy rains, since the pond drains toward Wolf Branch Road and Timberlake Drive, where Benitez lives. Leaders have been bringing up a nursery runoff. I called the nursery and spoke with the operations manager. I know you guys installed a pump to help with runoff. Yeah. He said the pump has nothing to do with the recent rain event. I also reached out to the St. Johns River Water Management District, which approved the nursery's stormwater upgrades. In a statement, a spokesperson says the nursery's stormwater infrastructure functioned as intended. In Lake County, Erica Bergoglio, News 6.
Wolf Branch Road is expected to reopen in just a few weeks. Donnelly Street's probably the best known way to reach Mount Dora. We sent Ginger and our Sky 6 drones out to see firsthand the hard work going into repairing it as soon as possible. Tonight, a doctor who has a curbside view of the work told Ginger he's impressed.
My office is right here. I've been able to come out on the veranda and take a look and see what's been going on. I was quite impressed.
Tell me what's so impressive about what you've been witnessing.
Well, within a matter of days, I saw the Florida Department of Transportation coming in here and taking care of business. They were bringing in trucks with fill, I would say every 15 to 20 minutes at one point. It was incredible. It's really important. I mean, this is a main artery for downtown Mount Dora.
Yeah.
This is the main drag.
Yeah, and we've been telling people it's not the only way to get to downtown.
It certainly is not. It is not. But yeah. it is the one that everybody knows.
There's lots of other ways in. I come from Taveri, so I come Old 441 through that way.
Downtown business owners told Ginger they need the business, and many paths all lead to the same destination. News 6 investigative producer Robert Brewer spelled out the alternatives to Donnelly Street.
Producer Robert put together this handy street map to show some other ways to get to downtown Mount Dora while Donnelly is down.
Well, say you're coming in from the north, like Eustis or DeLand, no problem. Take Highway 19 right on in. Coming from the south, like Apopka or Orlando, you can use Old Highway 441. Coming from the east, like Sanford or Lake Mary, State Road 46 turns into First Avenue before heading into downtown. And lastly, if you're coming from the west, like Tavares or Leesburg, Lakeshore Drive is the way to go.
You can catch Ginger and Robert's full report on clickorlando.com. A highly anticipated rocket launch from our Space Coast was grounded yet again today after being scrubbed Sunday. Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket was supposed to launch this afternoon. That rocket has only ever launched once. This mission's supposed to bring identical NASA spacecraft to Mars to study the surface of the planet. This time the launch was postponed due to solar activity. Blue Origin posted an update saying New Glenn is ready to launch, but due to highly elevated solar activity and the potential impacts it could have on the spacecraft, that solar activity is what most would call the Northern Lights. And in fact, some of our News 6 viewers sent us photos of those lights right here from Central Florida, including Lori in Winter Springs. You might be able to see the lights again tonight. If you do, take some photos. We'd love to see them. Just upload your pictures to the Pin It page at clickorlando.com/pins. Fascinating time when we could possibly see those lights out in Florida. Usually you have to be in Alaska or Canada. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan has more for us on this crazy weather we're seeing.
Yeah, you know, it is certainly rare to see that type of solar activity reach that far south over Central Florida. But if you happen to catch it, of course, send us your pins. We love to showcase it in that beautiful pink purplish hue. That's when the solar particles interact with the atmosphere and the nitrogen particles, and it makes that beautiful pinkish hue. So hoping to see more of that tonight, and the skies will certainly be clear for that. Just make sure you are away from the city lights in a very dark area, and usually closer to midnight is the best time to see that. So here's what you need to know. We have one more chilly night where overnight temperatures will fall into the 30s and 40s across the region, but we do have a warmer, or will be on a warming trend beginning tomorrow, back in the 70s, and then heading into the weekend back into the 80s. My main concern as of right now is the drought. It is very dry out there, and also the humidity is extremely low, and I'm not forecasting any significant rain in the next several days. So I'll have to watch things very closely as we go through that time frame. This morning was certainly very cold in Daytona Beach. Started off at 39, broke a record of 40 back in 1995, saw a daytime high of 68 degrees. In fact, many of us saw our daytime highs in the upper 60s across the region this afternoon. So as we take a look at the setup here, look at all of that dry air streaming across Central Florida. Air of high pressure will continue to influence our weather. Temperatures are in the 40s. And look at that out in Marion County and parts of Sumter County, 36 in Wildwood, 37 degrees in Ocala. And that is currently, so it is very cold out there. Hour by hour forecast showing a chilly start tomorrow. Temperatures rebounding nicely into the middle 70s with abundant sunshine. And for the rest of Central Florida, a high of 74 in Orlando, Wedgefield, and Kissimmee, 73 in DeLand, 72 in Daytona Beach. Clouds and rain forecast showing things very quiet as we go through the overnight hours, starting off with clear skies, heading into the afternoon hours, tomorrow featuring plenty of sunshine. And then as we go through the evening, a few clouds could stream in, but all in all, everyone is expected to see nice and dry, clear skies. Dew points, as you can see, we are below 50 degrees. That just shows that there's not a whole lot of moisture in the atmosphere. And the latest drought monitor shows parts of Marion, Lake, as well as Sumter counties abnormally dry, and we could see that continue to extend as we go through the next several days if we don't get significant rain. Taking a look at the tropics here, we're getting near to the end of hurricane season, and no tropical development is expected in the next several days. Love to see it. So here's a look at your 7-day. Tomorrow, a high of 74. As we head into your Friday, a high of 79. The weekend forecast is looking very warm with daytime highs in the lower 80s, and we're going to keep the lower 80s around as we head into the upcoming work week, Matt.
Thank you, Michelle. Looks great, and this looks great too. You can get an Italian sandwich from a family who's been doing it in Central Florida for more than 40 years. I'm going to take you there for a taste next in this week's I4 Food Tour. It's juicy. Forget the fancy stuff today. I need a big, beautiful Italian sandwich from a family who's been doing it in Central Florida for more than 40 years. Let's check out Stasio's.
But first, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Giant Recreation World. Thanks for the RVs we use to highlight Central Florida's food scene.
In every good Italian kitchen, there has to be a mom running things, right?
Right here. You
This is you.
to her. This is me.
This is the mom.
I'm the mother.
All right.
If you're looking for a word to describe Stasio's Italian deli, it's authentic. A true family-owned restaurant with mom, dad, brothers, sister, aunts, and uncles all working, eating, and sometimes fighting to bring an authentic Italian-American experience to Orlando for more than 40 years.
I hear you have amazing Italian sandwiches in this place. Tell me, what is the key to an amazing sandwich?
Oh, it's the best ingredients made in-house all the time. That's what we do with every sub. Fresh.
Chicken taco, a meatball bar, a flag with chicken.
Like effervescent water, like
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good.
Water, something like Pellegrino.
Oh my gosh, you're delivering more. Whoa.
This is the deal.
You ever been to an Italian mom's house? She just keeps bringing you more and more food, and it gets better and better. This is the Stasio. You can see how the juices are already getting into the bread there. There's just all sorts of cornucopia of meats, cheese. Basically, I think this is their version of the Italian. Let's try it. Okay, trying to think of what to say to tell you how much I love this Italian sub. Oh, wait a minute. This is perfect. I think this might be the best Italian I've ever had. But the layers, the juices, the bread. You're not going to find a better Italian sub than this. It's not going to happen. Oh, that's good. What could be better?
That's it. Mangia qua. Se mangia.
Sponsored by Giant Recreation World. Visit Giant Recreation World today.
You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus. It is free to download to your smart TV or your streaming device. Have a great night. We'll see you at 11.